and Pfizer. A few leftover storms right now moving out at the area. Alan has a cold front that's headed our way, though. We'll update you when we need that big coat and wind. Stay with us for our next hour at 6 in the morning, back after this break.
Hey, Steven. Hey, yeah, go ahead. Hey, did they issue a tornado warning down here?
They just issued one like south, closer to Big Beer.
Okay. It came across my phone, so I must be in the warned area. I'm by Evener right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Something like Smithfield. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, that's it. I think you're right on the northern part of the polygon. They got it drawn like pretty sharply northeast.
Yeah. Okay. I'll probably won't go that far down. That looks like a pretty good location, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the strongest rotation we've seen. Yeah, but yeah, it's way down there.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'll stop at Evener. I thought that this one that's coming up through Evener might do something, but
Roger that. Yeah, I know. It's been trying. I thought the same thing with where you were watching. I thought it was going to do something, and then it kind of didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
On 6 in the morning, a family of 4 is safe after escaping an early morning house fire in Sand Springs, while firefighters say one man ran back inside the burning home. Leftover storms and a tornado warning. Alan will have the very latest right at the top of this hour. I'm learning that I'm losing childcare for my son. Parents in Washington County blindsided by the closing of 3 daycare facilities. Will explain what led to those closings.
Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now.
Welcome everyone to 6 in the morning, our 6 o'clock hour. Glad to have you here. I'm Leanne Taylor. And I'm Tess Money in for Dave Davis. We want to get straight over to Alan Coney.
Yes, we have a tornado warning for extreme southeastern sections of our viewing area. It's going to be in southern, southeastern LaFleur County. Also, we are not included in this. We are no longer in a tornado watch. The counties that are highlighted in green, that is a tornado watch that is still underway, at least for the next 30 minutes. I mean, we're almost finished with our severe weather threats. And then we have severe thunderstorm warnings and those polygons across the LaFleur County area, but the tornado warning that's being issued from our friends at the National Weather Service, I mean, it's right at the pocket of the far southern and eastern section of the LaFleur County area. So this is going to be in the Big Cedar vicinity. And so here's Podo and Heber to kind of get your bearings. So this is Big Cedar, Hawk Creek, and Page. And this is moving east-northeast. And this is going to be right on the state line here pretty quickly. But this is a very tight circulation that is underway. So that's near just a little bit to the east of the Octavia area. And that's moving within northeast now at about 60 miles an hour. So Steven's driving the radar for us here. So folks, south and east of Big Cedar, to the east of Octavia, around the Page area on State Highway 1, and then right up to the Hall Creek vicinity, Black Fork, right in this area. That's going to be south of the Heber vicinity. This is a very small but important polygon that is underway. So tornado warning is underway here with this storm cell. Again, this is well removed from the Tulsa area, but we want to give our friends here in this area a little heads up in case your NOAA weather radio is, tracking right now. Your telephone is starting to alarm you of this storm. That's the one that we're really concerned with right now, south of Big Cedar, south of 259. That's moving to the north and east. So there's not a lot here. It's going to be right on the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line area pretty quickly. So here's the Heber area, Forest Hill, and areas to the north. That's going to be where Worcester is located in the Podo vicinity. So, yeah, that is a significant, tight little circulation there that continues to move to the north and east at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So, folks in that general region, want to give you the update just so you know. Got a tornado warning that's going to be underway technically until 6:30. Now, Stephen, we'll pull the radar up. We are going to go back to news here in just a second. This is right across the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line vicinity. These storms are also a concern. These around the Muldrow area southward to Spiro to the Podo vicinity, those are severe. And in this general area, these storms are also moving east-northeast. And occasionally, we've noticed some circulation here as well. But right now, I'm not seeing that directly. These are storms that have the potential to produce 50 and 60 mile per hour winds. That's going to be around the Spiro area eastward, Nicola, soon to be moving into Arkansas. This part of the severe thunderstorm warning expires at 6:15. This part goes until 6:30. And again, you've got that small but important tornado warning that is underway here. That's going to be around the areas to the south and east of Big Cedar, to the east Octavia, south of the Page vicinity. And that is a circulation that is tightening up right now. Potential for a tornado pretty quickly here as this moves to the east-northeast. Now, obviously, that's well removed from most of our areas. So here's Wilburton, McAllister. We have showers that are underway. Kidkiller to the west. Let's take a look at the Tulsa Metro. We'll get you back in just a second here. You can see we have showers nearby. We're not finished with shower activity here in Tulsa. We are tracking a scout cold front that will be moving over our area. What is concerned right now is that severe tornado-warned storm that's underway for southeastern LaFleur that goes until 6:30. It's moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. We'll get you back to the news. This is going to be right on the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line area. We'll continue to keep you posted here.
Right, Alan, and we do have storm trackers, as you can see there on the map as well. Vaughn's kind of in that area, so I know you'll keep us posted and we'll interrupt as necessary. Stephen is also navigating the traffic for us this morning.
Well, fortunately, again, as we mentioned, for Tulsa specifically, none of that. We just got the wet roads from overnight. You can caution on that this morning, and you'll be fine. VA Expressway 169, traffic flow picking up a little bit. A couple accidents noted, most of these minor. One noted northbound 169 at the VA Expressway. We're not seeing a big backup there. Otherwise, we'll scan the map out here, and again, overall traffic around Tulsa is doing pretty well. Southeastern, far southeastern Oklahoma is where we're still dealing with those storms. Drive times from Owasso to downtown 14 minutes, VA Lynn Lane 12 minutes, and Tulsa Hill 7 minutes.
Here this morning, a family of four safe after escaping their burning home early this morning. Sand Springs firefighters say the family woke up to smoke in their rooms around 1:30 near 41st and Highway 97. Firefighters say a man who went back in the house thinking his child was inside was treated for smoke inhalation. That child did make it out safely, though. Firefighters say the house did not have working smoke detectors and the fire is under investigation. A pair of law enforcement bills recently approved in the Senate would streamline services and improve mental health training for first responders across Oklahoma. We've on to Brooke Griffin is here with more. Brooke? Well, Senate Bill 1612, which is also known as the Department of Public Safety Reunification Act, would consolidate OHP, DPS, OSBI, and the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics, all under the Department of Public Safety. Now, Oklahoma is one of only 3 states with those branches currently separated. Now, if the bill passes through the House, the unification would take place next year. Lawmakers also recently approved Senate Bill 1613, which would help DPS establish a mental wellness division for statewide first responders. Now, it would authorize the division to enter into public and private partnerships and establish a nonprofit foundation to raise money. Those funds would then be put towards building a wellness center to focus on the mental and physical health of those responders, and the center would include specialized trauma counselors, sleep treatment, and physical health help. Now, leaders say it would be the first center of its kind, and they hope to break ground on the facility next year. And both of those bills are going to head to the House floor for further consideration next. That is Holsted, Brooklyn, Oklahoma's own News on 6. Thank you, Brooke. Oklahoma Attorney General John O'Connor is joining leaders from several other states in an attempt to end the mask requirement on public transportation. News on 6's Cal Day is live this morning with more on the Attorney General's stance on this issue. Cal?
Yes, good morning. Oklahoma would become the 21st state to join this complaint against the CDC and its requirement to wear a mask on public transportation. This includes in airports and onboard airplanes. Now, State Attorney General John O'Connor calls the mask mandate unlawful and claims it interferes with state law. Governor Kevin Stitt signed a law last year banning any mask mandate in public schools, but students are still required to wear them while riding on school buses. Directly involved. Just last week, a group of airline CEOs sent a letter to President Joe Biden asking the federal mask mandate and pre-departure testing requirements to be lifted. Right now, the mask requirement is set to expire in about 3 weeks, but it could be extended. The lawsuit calls for the requirement to end immediately. And despite all of those pleas to end the mask mandate right now, the White House has not made any announcement on a formal decision. Live in Tulsa, Cal Day, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
Thank you. Nearly 160 kids are going to have to find new child care centers after 3 daycare facilities in Washington County announced that they're closing this week. The news left parents like Rachel Swindell scrambling to find a new place for her son to go. A source from the Washington County Child Care Foundation says that they have been funded for decades through a relationship with the Delaware tribe. They say the tribe cut those ties and owes the foundation more than $4 million. The Delaware chief says the tribe doesn't believe it owes any money and that the daycares violated the tribe's federal contract by primarily serving non-native children. The number of licensed daycares in our state is less than half of what it was 15 years ago. The problem is worse in rural Oklahoma, where some counties have just 1 or 2 licensed providers. One county in the Panhandle has none. Some parents are left to choose between a job and their kids, and those who can find care oftentimes have to drive long distances. We'll have an Oklahoma's own original report on this important issue tonight at 9 and 10. 6:09, let's get an update on the weather. Here's Alan.
Yeah, still tracking that storm. It's extreme southeastern Oklahoma, about to cross into Arkansas. This is to the east of Big Cedar, south of Page. It's a very small tornado warning right on the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line area. This is going to move into Arkansas pretty quickly here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So if you do have friends and neighbors that you know live in this area, give them a call here. Make sure that they're aware that this tornado warned storm is moving northeast at about 50 miles an hour. So you can see that polygon, that is to the east of Big Cedar. So here's the Keesner area, Poto, Worcester. Now we have severe thunderstorm warnings that are underway in those areas. Some 50 and 60 mile per hour wind gusts a possibility. That's where our trackers are located, just a little bit more to the north, and then other storms that are located to the south of the Tallahena area. That's basically our severe weather threats that we're watching for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Once this area of storm activity crosses the state line, the severe weather threat is going to be over. So we'll zoom in one more time here and take a look at this. This is obviously a highly rural area here, but we do see that circulation that is still underway between Page and Fogel, right on 270, and that's going to move to near the Hawks Creek and Black Fork area pretty quickly, moving east-northeast, northeast actually, at around 40 to 50 miles per hour, and that's the circulation. That's what the circulation looks like on the radar. You see those different colors kind of converging together there. So that is a tornado warning that technically remains underway until 6:30 through far southeastern LaFleur County. To the north of that, let's kind of take it up a little bit more here, Stephen. We do have severe storms that are underway here in these general areas. We'll zoom in pretty quickly and take a look. It's going to be around the Poteau vicinity, Spiro, Patola, closer to the Fort Smith vicinity. That's where we have our trackers. That was check in with JD McManus soon, and also Von Castor right now. Ron, you're well removed from that very small tornado warning across far southeastern LaFleur County, but give us an update where you're at, what the weather's like in your specific location here.
Yeah, I'm right in the Howell vicinity, which is right north of Heathner. So that tornado warning is going to pass to the east of here into Arkansas. But very, very heavy rain here. Not a lot of lightning with these. There are ones, here and there are, but mainly the wind. I've had about 50 to 55 mile an hour winds with some of these. So the wind and the heavy rain is going to be the main problem, Alan.
So that's where Vaughn's located. You can see his radar there. And then storms a little bit more to the northeast of the Fort Coffee vicinity in Spiro. That's where JD McManus is positioned right now across some of those areas. Let's check in with JD very quickly here. JD, what do you have? Your location?
Yeah, I'm right here on the state line, and what you can expect to see out of these is a lot of heavy rain. Like Vaughn said, I've seen very few lightning strikes in the last hour or so. Wind is around 40 to 45 at times. Right now it's calm, but haven't seen any hail. These are pretty well sub-severe, but there's putting down a lot of rain, and it's having a hard time exiting the road, so there is a lot of ponding.
We do have a chance for showers too. That's going to pass through the area at midday, and then the temperature starts to drop. So here's the plan. Over the next couple of minutes, we'll come back. We'll update those storms that are pushing across far east Oklahoma to Arkansas. Clear weather threats are starting to end, and then we'll start to see the gas lady. And I'll have more on all of this.
Did you get any of that phoner?
No, I think we lost you right when you started it. Sorry.
Man, I was going to town.
I figured we went right to you, and then I heard you, and then it went boop and dropped, and I was like, ah.
Hey, Steven?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a highway here that goes straight over to Mansfield. You want me to zip over there? it's getting ready to get daylight here pretty soon. I'll be able to see it.
Yeah, you might as well if you want to. I don't want to make you go all the way that far, but if you want to, that's fine by me.
No, that's not very far over there.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Okay. I may lose service with you. I don't know what the service is like. I've never been on this road, but I can't imagine it's real good.
Yeah, that's all good. No worries.
Okay.
Now on this Wednesday morning, just update, we talked about that tornado warning in southern LaFleur County and kind of on the Springdale viewing area about to move into Arkansas. So once you've been watching it, but it's about to cross the state line into Arkansas, just so you know. And again, to Tulsa, that is not a concern at all. We're dealing with the wet roads. South Tulsa, 169, northbound, by the way, you know, there's 2 lanes, 51st Street. Traffic map overall looks pretty good around the metro for the most part. Louisville to downtown, 14 minutes, frequency 5 minutes, and 151st Street, 9.
Thanks, Stephen. Happening today at the state capitol, Governor Kevin Stitt will sign a bill into law banning transgender women from competing in female sports. Here's our 16 news with today's development. Leanne and Tess, the governor plans to sign Senate Bill 2, also known as the Save Women in Sports Act, that's home this morning. I'll be joined by different lawmakers and female athletes. This bill will prevent transgender girls from playing on female sports teams in Oklahoma schools. Just last week, it passed through the Senate in a 37-7 vote, and along party lines in the House, the vote was 79-18. Supporters of the bill argue it's intended to make sure biological female athletes don't have opportunities taken away from them. Men have physical advantages over women. This is not something I need to explain. Meanwhile, opponents of the bill believe this would be harmful to people in the transgender community. It saddens me that we are not considering the group of people that we are in fact marginalizing, telling them over and over again, you do not belong in sports in your school. Oklahoma will now join more than 10 states across the country who have also enacted transgender sports bans. Amy Avery, Oklahoma Zone News on 6. Amy, thank you. 617. We want to get right back over to Alan Price.
Storm struck extreme eastern Oklahoma. Good news here in the metro. Here where the threats are over, we are no longer included in a tornado watch. But as the day progresses, the temperature is going to take a tumble here. We're going to start this morning 60s. It's very humid. We have showers and spots. We have another opportunity for a couple of showers about mid-morning. That will not be significant. Then the temperature starts to drop. It'll be windy. And then by the afternoon, we're going to be in the 40s. So we're encouraging you to take some rain here this morning, and then a jacket and coat for later today. We are tracking severe storms that are crossing extreme southern Oklahoma, and we still have that tornado warning that is hugging the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line area. It's right in this general area around the Vogel area, northward circulation is right on the state line, basically. So already mentioned actually there's a warning from the Arkansas vicinity. So that's on the state line vicinity, right in the general area, and continues to move northeast at about 50 to 50 miles an hour. That's basically out of the viewing area that we always want to keep folks informed in this area. Maybe you've got relatives that live in this area, you can give them a call and let them know that there is a tornado warning that's underway for portions of extreme southeastern LaFleur County. Now that's going to cross into portions of Arkansas. I think that's going to be part of the whole Scott County vicinity there. Not real Scott County, Arkansas County, southwestern Arkansas, but that's where I think it's headed in this general direction. This still is severe as well in the southern part of LaFleur County, west of Big Cedar. So even though that tornado warning is east of Big Cedar, this is storms that can cause 50 to 60 mile per hour winds that are moving in your direction. JD McManus is near the Apola area this morning, and he's been traveling with heavy rainfall, some lightning and some gusty winds that are underway. Ron Passwood just lost his shot. He's trying to get ahead of that tornado circulation that's crossing the state line into Arkansas. So the tornado watch is no longer in effect for all the counties west of these areas here. And we're anticipating once this bad storm activity crosses state line, probably in the next 30, 35 minutes. A lot of these counties also will be dropped from that tornado watch. So severe threats starting to wind down, except for right on the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line here. Here's the call from Metro 60s now. Between 10 and 11, we still have a chance for a couple showers. That's when the cold front starts to push here. We'll have strong winds pick up, and the temperatures will drop. It's pretty mild right now. We have 61, a south breeze, dew point 57. Still a lot of moisture in place. The far southern eastern sections, that's where the warmer weather is located, mid-60s. And there you go. That's the first signal of the cold front about to affect the northwestern section. Already dropped to 49. Pawnee is at 57. That's going to drop. The winds will pick up out of the north. And here's the cold front sweeping through the area. So even though most of the strong condition one is going to be in Arkansas, we have a chance for some spotty showers with this cold front pushing through. And temperatures will start to tumble. By midday for afternoon, instead of 50, we're in the 40s and closer to the west. And we're in the 50s part of southern Oklahoma. And even those temperatures will start to drop through the afternoon. So to be clear, we no longer have a thunderstorm stretch in the Tulsa metro. We're no longer under a tornado watch. We have temperatures in the 60s now. Still have a little rain here with you. Those numbers are going to drop through the day. It gets cooler and colder through the afternoon. Tomorrow morning, 36 at a high of 59 with some sunshine. Friday looks good. It will be a little breezy, high of 70. And then late Friday night, treat on Saturday. We have another system that'll bring a couple of showers. Sunday night, Monday, and Tuesday also have some unsettled weather with more active potential for thunderstorms.
Open mic.
Yeah, hi, Mike. Oh, you got it, thanks.
Sorry.
That's all good.
I couldn't read your text, JD, because man, it's all I can do is stay on the road.
I understand.
Covering the economy, stocks soared Tuesday. The Dow gained 338 points. The Nasdaq jumped 264. The S&P 500 added 56. Here's a look at local stocks, and you can pick out the ones that may have been of interest to you. All of those up the positive side. We'll go to the next page, give you a chance to look at those as well. So a very good day for local stocks. We do want to let you know this morning stocks are showing futures down 81 and a barrel of oil is $106.88. Now 6:25, the Oklahoma Health Care Authority says thousands of Oklahomans could lose eligibility for Medicaid soon. What steps they say you can take to avoid disruptions in your coverage? Ukraine and Russia holding what diplomats call the first meaningful talks about ending the war. Hear what steps two countries say they're taking to progress toward. Alan is tracking storms that are moving out of the state right now. And a cold front later today, he'll let you know when temperatures start to tumble. Here on 6 in the morning, the FDA recommending a second COVID-19 booster for some Americans. We'll let you know who's eligible and what doctors say about this decision.
This storm's located in extreme southeast Oklahoma for the next 30, 40 minutes, and then we're tracking the cold front. I'll let you know when the temperatures start to tumble.
Wildfires in Creek County have been leaving resources and volunteers stretch thin, why departments say it's becoming harder to keep up. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to 6 in the morning. Thank you for being here on this Wednesday. I'm Leanne Taylor, and I'm testimony in for Dave Davis. A busy morning for our meteorologist this morning. Let's get over to Alan Crone.
Yeah, all good. We've been tracking these storms all night long. Most of them now are on the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line area that are a concern. Technically, a tornado watch remains in the counties that are highlighted in green till 7. Now, we were almost finished with this threat. The tornado warning, that very small area of southeastern LaPorte County, that's now moved into Arkansas, Polk County vicinity. But there's still another storm that is right on its heels that is strong and severe. That's going to be in the southern LaPorte County area, and part of the McCurtain County is a little south as well. That is moving generally east. Now, here's Tulsa Metro. We do not have a severe thunderstorm threat any longer. That's all to the far south of the eastern section. Stigler, some rain, Stillwell, Kansas, and there's scattered showers that will try to develop and move back into the metro over the next couple hours when a strong cold front approaches. So again, no longer tornado warning. That one is pushed into Arkansas. That's the tornado cell that is still underway and showing rotation. That's just west of Waldron and moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour. But now back to Big Cedar and Octavia and the Page area. That is the potential again for severe storms here. 60, 50, 60 mile per hour winds. And there's even a little circulation or two that's trying to develop on that line. So we'll watch that. We think this threat is going to move out of southern LaPorte County, I think within the next 20 to 30 minutes. And then the severe weather threats are over. JD McManus on the state line now, crossing into Arkansas, and so is Montester tracking those storms. Tulsa 60s right now. I'll have more on the hour by hour, and when the temperatures start to take a tumble here, a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Alan. Meteorologist Stephen Aaron joins us now with the traffic report.
And again, as we've been reiterating from a weather standpoint, those thunderstorms, severe storms we've been tracking is way to the east and southeast of Tulsa. Severe weather threat, Tulsa, if you're just waking up and checking in, long gone for the metro, but still some wet roads left over from the rainy storms late last night. You know, start tomorrow, use a little caution on the roads this cold this morning. A couple accidents have popped up in the last few hours, none of which have caused big problems. Most recent one that was reported on northbound 169 FTA Expressway, but really haven't seen much slow down there, so I think we're in good shape. Wide view, again, around Tulsa, looks just fine. Owasso downtown, you're at a 14-minute drive. Claremore to downtown, 25 minutes, and Sky said your drive time is 19 minutes.
Thanks, Stephen. Russia is planning to drastically reduce its military activity around the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. Negotiators say they want to build trust ahead of another day of talks between the two countries. U.S. officials are skeptical, saying Russia's focusing on different targets after failing to take the city quickly.
There is what Russia says, and this is what Russia does. We're focused on the latter. And what Russia is doing is to continue utilization of Ukraine.
During talks on Tuesday, Ukraine's delegation agreed to abandon hope of joining NATO. Millions of Americans now qualify for a second COVID booster. It comes as a new variant is causing a spike in cases in Europe and Asia. Health experts here in the U.S. worry the new variant could potentially cause a spike here. News on 6's Johnny Resendez joins us with who qualifies for this new booster shot. Johnny?
Well, the FDA is recommending people over 50 years old or those that are immunocompromised to get a fourth vaccine shot. Now, the approval applies to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. More than 34 million Americans are eligible to receive another booster shot. Now, the second booster is recommended at least 4 months after you get the first one. It comes as the Omicron subvariant has become the dominant COVID strain in the U.S., making up 65% of new cases. Some doctors, though, think the timing of the fourth dose may not be ideal.
Of community transmission in most places in the U.S. There's not a lot of risk of getting exposed right now. We may want that booster to be timed next time we see the beginning of a wave coming. And there will be another wave.
And next week, the FDA will consider whether the general population should be eligible for the fourth vaccine shot. Reporting live in Tulsa, Johnny Resendez, Oklahoma Zone News on 6.
Thank you, Johnny. The Oklahoma Healthcare Authority says 200,000 Oklahomans could lose their Medicaid coverage when federal COVID-19 funding expires. Once the federal declaration of a public health emergency ends, states will be required to disenroll Medicaid members who no longer meet federal eligibility requirements. The Healthcare Authority says senior care members should take steps now to update their information. This will help them get a better idea of who will be eligible to renew their benefits. Members who are cut from the program may qualify to receive insurance through the ACA Marketplace. The CDC says Oklahoma has more cases of the flu right now than any other state. Oklahoma tends to have lower vaccination rates, but this year doctors say the flu vaccine just isn't very effective. The Department of Health reports 14 flu deaths since September. During last flu season, the Department of Health reported 12 deaths. The City of Tulsa and the Indian Nations Council of Governments presented a plan for the future of transportation in Tulsa. This was at a meeting yesterday. The goal is to brainstorm how technology like self-driving cars and electric vehicles can be used in Tulsa. A big part of the meeting was how to remove red tape barriers that make it difficult to bring new technology. The next step is finding funding.
To get the gears turning in people and really start getting them to think, okay, how would I go about developing the necessary partnerships to get the capital investment that would be required?
Parts of the plan, like the partnership with electric vehicle company Canoe, already is in place. Governor Kevin Stitt ordered all flags to fly at half-staff Tuesday to honor a Comanche County volunteer firefighter who died battling a wildfire earlier this month. 55-year-old April Partridge was a firefighter for 20 years and she was laid to rest yesterday. Wildfires ripping through Creek County are affecting volunteer firefighters' schedules. The Olive Fire Department says in the last couple of months they've averaged 3 to 4 grass fires a week, some stretching across hundreds of acres and burning anywhere from a few hours to a few days. Volunteer firefighters say their resources are limited because they run on donations.
A lot of the fires that we get to now are getting to a point where we can't get a vehicle to them because they're so big density of wooded area or valleys, already rocky terrain.
Firefighters say OSC Service Fire Training provides a lot of free classes, plus volunteers' monthly training sessions. Many folks take specialized courses 8 to 16 hours. There were a number of wildfires across the state yesterday. Our storm trackers, Val and Amy Castor, were out at a wildfire near Durham when they came across a herd of cattle, and they were stuck inside the fence with the flames kind of closing them. So Val got out of the truck and opened up the gate so those cows could run free once they felt like they could move. And it worked. Right, once they realized, I got to move. All right, 6:37 now, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, storms are still underway. Extreme eastern southern Oklahoma. If you're watching around the lateral LaFleur County area, the severe threats are still in LaFleur County right now. We think in the next 20 minutes, that moves across the state, or 10 minutes will get for our immediate viewing area. Temperatures, we're in the 60s. We're in the 60s right now. But as the day moves along, the temperature is going to start to drop. We think by midday and afternoon, instead of 60s, we're going to be in the 40s. And a stout wind out of the northwest returning at 20 to 30 miles per hour. So the cold temperature this afternoon, 46. The temperature this morning, lower 60s. So instead of putting the high of the day, which is right now in the 60s on the map, we're going to compare you to the 40s that are coming around the corner. Now, here's Tulsa. We had scattered storms last night. It's kind of in its rise slot right now. As the cold front approaches the area about mid-morning, we'll have some potential for a few more spotty showers that will try to develop. Nothing too significant. On the state line, that's where the instability factor, the velocity factors, the wind shear is still supporting a few severe storms, but not for long. So severe thunderstorm warnings in LaFleur County, technically until 7. And that's the storm that prompted the tornado warning at far southeastern LaFleur County about 30 minutes ago. That's now located to the west of Waldron and to the south of Hartford. That's in the Arkansas vicinity. That is moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour in the Scott County, Arkansas area. This polygon is for far southeast Oklahoma. So if you have friends and neighbors near and east of Big Cedar, the Page area, south of Heathner, the far southern Oklahoma area, make sure they know they get a severe storm moving in their direction, moving east-northeast at about 50 miles an hour, and the potential is there for 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Now, we still have our trackers out close to this area. Broadcaster is not too far away from that circulation that is to the west of Waldron, Arkansas. So he's in the Hartford, Arkansas area. JD McManus is across the state line in Greenwood. I mean, we track these storms where they go. And we just lost Randy Shot. He was in the metro with some showers earlier this morning. We do not have a tornado watch. It's getting longer for most of the area. Extreme southeastern Oklahoma. This watch is going to go away quickly. And then after that, we're ready for the temperature to drop. So by the 10 o'clock hour, we're in the lower 50s. By the noon hour, we're in the 40s. This is home. By 3 o'clock, we're in the mid-40s. And south winds developing out of the northwest at 20 to 35 miles per hour. All right, that's a quick update. I'll have more specifics in your hometown and what this little pattern change is going to mean for your weekend plans.
It's down 640 right now. Multiple farmers markets opening this weekend in green country. How they've grown to accommodate increasing interest. So for drillers prepare for the start of the 2022 season, we'll take a look at what changes are coming to the facilities and to the game.
And keeping an eye on that morning drive. Your pulse of storms gone. There's still some wet roads out there. Details on any slowdown.